Europe, a continent celebrated for its rich cultural heritage, stunning architecture, and varied landscapes, is often viewed as a secure destination for both travelers and locals. However, beneath the surface of some of its most renowned cities lies a different story, one where crime, violence, and peril dominate. While many European cities are lauded for their beauty and safety, others hide high crime rates, dangerous gangs, and escalating violence, posing substantial risks to both residents and visitors alike. Today, we'll take an in-depth look at the 10 most dangerous cities in Europe, where your safety could be compromised, and in the worst-case scenario, you might even lose your life. Before we unveil these alarming destinations, welcome to our channel, your ultimate guide to exploring various places around the globe. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you never miss out on any of our updates. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. Without further ado, let's dive into the cities that defy the perceived safety of Europe. Glasgow, Scotland's largest city, has developed a reputation over time for being one of the most violent cities in Western Europe. Known for its historical significance and vibrant cultural scene, Glasgow is also notorious for its unsettling knife crime rates and gang violence. Reports indicate that Glasgow's homicide rate stands at 5.1 per 100,000 people, ranking it among the highest in Europe, with the majority of crimes stemming from gang disputes and poverty-driven conflicts. The city's violent history, particularly the 20th-century gang wars, still casts a shadow on its current crime landscape. Areas such as Postle Park, Easterhouse, and Govan Hill remain hotspots for violence, drug-related crimes, and muggings. According to the Scottish Violence Reduction Unit, knife crime continues to be a major issue, with Glasgow accounting for nearly half of Scotland's knife-related incidents. Efforts to curb these crimes, including educational initiatives and increased police presence, have made some headway. However, underlying causes such as poverty, unemployment, and social exclusion persist, creating substantial challenges. Experts agree that, while the city has made progress in reducing violent crime over the past decade, it still battles a deeply ingrained culture of violence. The rise of drug abuse, particularly heroin and opioids, has only worsened the city's crime rates, turning it into a breeding ground for drug-related violence. For tourists, the primary risks are being caught in the middle of violent confrontations or falling victim to petty crimes like pickpocketing. Despite ongoing investment in crime reduction strategies by the Scottish government, caution in Glasgow is not just recommended but necessary. Nestled along Italy's southern coast, Naples is a city celebrated for its historical significance, lively culture, and mouth-watering cuisine. Yet, it also wrestles with a darker side, plagued by organized crime and systemic violence that earn it a spot on this list. Naples is home to the Camorra, one of Italy's most infamous criminal organizations, which holds significant control over the city's underground economy. The Camorra's criminal activities span a range of illicit endeavors, including drug trafficking, extortion, money laundering, and even murder. In neighborhoods like Scampia, violent crime linked to gang warfare and drug-related activities is alarmingly prevalent. The Italian Ministry of the Interior consistently ranks Naples among the cities with the highest crime rates in the country, particularly in terms of homicides and violent robberies. The murder rate in Naples is more than double the national average, largely driven by the widespread influence of organized crime, creating an atmosphere of fear, mistrust, and violence. Many residents feel trapped in a cycle of poverty and crime, while law enforcement struggles to curb the power of the Camorra. Even in tourist-heavy areas like the historic center, visitors must remain vigilant against pickpocketing and scams. Despite efforts to boost tourism and enhance public safety, the economic struggles of Naples, compounded by corruption and ineffective governance, keep crime a constant issue in daily life. The shadow of crime never strays far from this otherwise vibrant city. Marseille, France's second-largest city, is renowned for its bustling port, multicultural atmosphere, and Mediterranean charm. However, beneath its sun-soaked exterior lies a city grappling with severe crime, much of which stems from drug trafficking and organized criminal activity. Marseille Port, while a crucial gateway to the Mediterranean, has also become a major point of entry for illegal drugs, fueling a violent underworld dominated by gangs. French crime statistics show that Marseille experiences consistently high rates of violent crime, including shootings and gang-related turf wars. In northern districts such as Le Castellane and Le Panier, law enforcement faces significant challenges in battling the entrenched drug trade and its associated violence. Marseille crime problems have historical roots dating back to the post-war era when its port was a hub for smuggling and other illicit activities. Today, the city's homicide rate ranks among the highest in France, with many of the killings linked to gang conflicts over control of the drug trade. High unemployment, limited opportunities, and social inequality have only worsened the situation, creating fertile ground for gang recruitment. Authorities have ramped up police presence and launched anti-drug campaigns in an effort to counter the crime wave, but the deeply rooted nature of the problem makes finding quick solutions unlikely. Both locals and tourists face the risk of being caught in the crossfire of violent confrontations, or falling victim to muggings or robberies. Tourists are advised to remain cautious, avoid poorly lit areas, and stay aware of their surroundings to mitigate these risks. Birmingham, the UK's second-largest city, is often overshadowed by London when it comes to discussions of crime, but it is actually one of the most dangerous cities in the country. In recent years, Birmingham has seen a sharp rise in violent crimes, particularly knife-related incidents, gang violence, and drug offences. According to West Midlands Police, Birmingham's crime rate exceeds 153 crimes per 1,000 people, making it one of the highest in the UK. Areas like Handsworth, Aston, and Newtown have gained notoriety for high levels of stabbings, robberies, and drug-related violence. Experts suggest that the city's crime problem is the result of a complex combination of social and economic factors, including poverty, unemployment, and a lack of social cohesion. Organized crime groups have exacerbated the violence, with gang rivalries often leading to fatal shootings and stabbings. Knife crime, in particular, has reached alarming levels, prompting various initiatives aimed at reducing it. West Midlands Police have also noted a growing issue with county lines drug trafficking, where urban gangs exploit vulnerable young people to transport drugs across regional boundaries. Despite increased police efforts and community outreach programs, Birmingham continues to face an uphill battle in reducing its crime wave. Visitors are advised to remain cautious, stay aware of their surroundings, and avoid certain neighborhoods at night in order to reduce the risk of becoming a victim. This reality stands in stark contrast to Birmingham's efforts to establish itself as a cultural and commercial hub. Athens, the capital of Greece, is a city where ancient history meets modern urban life. However, it is also a city battling with significant crime issues, particularly in areas like Ammonia, Exarchia, and Metaxorgio, which are notorious for drug dealing, violent protests, and high rates of theft. Athens has earned a place on this list due to its elevated crime rates, particularly for muggings, pickpocketing, and robberies, as reported by the Greek police. The economic crisis that hit Greece in 2008 exacerbated these issues, leading to increased poverty, homelessness, and social unrest, which, in turn, drove many into criminal activity. Tourists, especially in busy districts like Monastiraki and Plaka, are frequently targeted by street criminals. There have been several reports of violent incidents, including stabbings and assaults, in these areas. Local authorities have responded by increasing police patrols and tightening enforcement, but deep-seated economic and social issues remain a considerable challenge. Athens also has a politically charged environment, with violent protests and clashes between demonstrators and police occurring regularly, particularly in the Exarchia neighborhood, which is known for its anarchist community. These demonstrations can spill over into tourist areas, putting visitors at risk. Despite its many cultural and historical attractions, Athens is a city where caution is highly advisable. London, one of the world's most iconic cities, is often associated with safety and security thanks to its extensive law enforcement and surveillance systems. However, London has seen a rise in violent crime, particularly knife-related incidents, gang violence, and even terrorism. The London Metropolitan Police recorded over 15,000 knife crimes in 1 year alone, many of which involved young victims under the age of 25. Areas like Camden, Lambeth, and Southwark have been flagged as some of the most dangerous in terms of violent crime. The surge in knife-related violence has ignited national debate and led to calls for stricter regulations and more comprehensive crime prevention strategies. Despite ongoing efforts, social inequality, youth unemployment, and the allure of gang culture continue to pose significant challenges. Gang-related violence, especially among younger demographics, remains a pressing issue, with many youths joining gangs for protection, status, or financial gain. The rise in terrorism-related incidents has further added to the city's security concerns, making vigilance essential. While central areas like the West End remain relatively safe for tourists, petty crimes like pickpocketing and muggings are still common in busy areas. London is a city of contrasts, where the wealthy live in close proximity to some of the most deprived communities, making crime prevention a complex issue. City officials are working tirelessly to enhance safety, but visitors are always encouraged to remain alert, especially in unfamiliar areas. Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria, may not immediately come to mind when thinking of dangerous European cities, but it has been struggling with crime issues for years. The country's post-communist transition left behind a legacy of organized crime and corruption, which still affects cities like Sofia. While violent crime is not as rampant as in some of the other cities on this list, it is the levels of theft, corruption, and organized criminal activity that make Sofia stand out. Pickpocketing, burglaries, and car theft are common occurrences, particularly in tourist-heavy areas such as Vitosha Boulevard and the Lions Bridge. Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic, is a city of beautiful Gothic architecture and cobblestone streets, drawing millions of tourists every year. However, Prague also suffers from an underbelly of crime, particularly when it comes to theft, fraud, and drug-related offenses. Tourists are often targeted by pickpockets, particularly in busy areas like Charles Bridge, Old Town Square, and Wenceslas Square. The Czech police have reported a steady increase in petty crimes, particularly during the summer months when tourism peaks. Visitors have also fallen victim to various scams, from overpriced taxi rides to dishonest exchange rates at currency exchange kiosks. Paris, known as the City of Light, is synonymous with art, culture, and romance. However, in recent years, Paris has faced an increasing crime rate, particularly in terms of muggings, pickpocketing, and more violent crimes. Popular tourist attractions like the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, and Notre Dame Cathedral are frequented by thieves targeting unsuspecting tourists. According to French crime reports, petty crime has surged in certain areas of Paris, driven in part by the vast number of tourists and the opportunities they present to thieves. Districts like Barbès Rochechouart and Stalingrad have also seen increases in drug-related violence and gang activity. In some neighborhoods, particularly on the outskirts of the city, riots and violent demonstrations have become more common, creating a heightened sense of unease. These cities, with all their beauty and allure, carry risks that should not be ignored. While they offer incredible experiences, their crime rates remind us that safety can never be taken for granted. Always stay alert, be informed, and make safety a priority, whether you're traveling or living in these areas.